Hi. You know, I'm going to apologize for the quality of the video here. It just doesn't seem to be so good. And Logitech just went through an upgrade on it, and I've got tickets in for things that don't work or don't work right. Would you believe I don't have any more of my video toys? They all went away. Anyway, I wanted to share with you, it's been really interesting for me too, going back to early March journals and the time in the no mind. And, you know, all time is simultaneous. And so we can fully access, I mean, forget memory and expectation. Those are constructs. Those are mental constructs. Things are fully accessible in the now. I don't care if they happen when. It doesn't matter. All time is simultaneous. And so I experienced that as I read you those journals. I'm back there again. And so I'm really blending that space with my now space, and I find it really interesting. And, you know, I did a journal on right and wrong, putting out the premise that you can't do wrong. Wrong and right are judgments, and they're mental, and they're constructs as well, and often enforced by this judgmental God that we conceptualize at some point in our path. Most of us have done that, have believed in that. And I threw that out a while ago. It seems like another lifetime when I ever held such a belief. It's like I can't even relate to it anymore. It's interesting. But on this thing of being in heart, being in the no mind, and then just following your bliss, pursuing that which brings you enjoyment, brings you delight. Now this, of course, only applies in this context, in this spiritual context, if you will. I don't like putting these words on it. I don't like it one bit. But what I'm saying here is, if you're following heart, if you're centering, if you've set your ship to head in that direction, then I'm saying you can't do wrong. Now, maybe you can't anyway at all times, spaces, places, but I'm not there now. I'm here. And so I can only speak for this. This is what lives in me. And what I experience is, as a for instance, and it's a silly one, but you know, if you take any slice of the now, mostly what it's filled up with is what seems to be silly or inconsequential stuff. And it turns out that it's really not. And so, I've spoken before about getting or being addicted to our technology, feeling that you have to have the internet always on, feeling that you can't even go to the store without your cell phone. Oh my God, you wouldn't consider it, you know. And the mind will give all kinds of reasons for this. Don't listen. Don't listen. Back up into heart. And maybe just look at that. How long ago was it we didn't have cell phones? And we had the ability to take a walk in the park, or to drive somewhere, and to go there and to do that in peace, without feeling this need to be constantly electronically plugged in. Now, my friends, we're plugged in anyway. We're all psychic. We're all telepathic. How much conscious access we have to that, okay, I'll grant you that's a point. But we all have that. We all are that anyway. Everything is one thing. Everything is you. And so if you want to explore something, you've got the right to do that. It's just another aspect of yourself that you're exploring. You are that. And so this is phony. And it's an overlay. It's a way of programming us to get us dependent on all these electronic gadgets and toys and things. And so we lose touch with the self, because these things, they, I don't know if it's like static electricity. They get in your aura, in your energy field, and they kind of short-circuit it. Not exactly, but it's like they give everybody ADD a little bit. Attention deficit disorder. They scatter our energies and make it harder to just center and be peaceful. Okay, so where am I going with this? I wanted to share just this silly little thing. In the last couple of days, you know, I wake up to a new world every day. And I know that's a joke, but, you know, I really do stick to heart and go with the flow and know that everything is changeful. And so I really do have a tendency to just do what I feel like doing and trust that, whatever it is. And I've been watching myself the last couple of days, getting back into this thing where I keep going back to YouTube and refreshing the page to see what are the numbers of views and votes on what videos, and doing the same thing on Scribe. And I've been watching myself doing that, knowing it was ridiculous, and that it wasn't right on and everything. But like I said, I'm doing what I feel like doing. And when you keep centering in heart, you can feel safe to do that. Now, admittedly, I've got all the electronics out of the way. The only thing is the internet. I've got no cell phone. Well, for the moment, that's a cordless phone there, but I use a wired phone. I've got no TV. So it's easier for me to be in heart. Those things fight you when you're trying to steady yourself and come home to center. But when you have this habit that you keep centering down, keep going to heart, keep just putting your attention there, then you can really begin to trust what flows. And don't let your mind edit you. Don't let your mind say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, that's stupid. Oh, that's not spiritual. Whatever, you know? It's like the mantra for mind. Mind, you're screwed, and everything you believe is hogwash. I mean, the poor hogs, they're cleaner than that. The mind is a mess. So keep centering in heart. You can register what mind says, but then just look away from it. Just like pulling out of the matrix. Pulling out of the mind is a huge part of pulling out of the matrix. And so you can't think that you're pulling out of the matrix if you're letting your mind treat you like a marionette and dance you around the way it wants to. So we go to heart. And I was watching myself doing that, knowing it was something that I didn't approve of, you know, but just watching it all the same, I felt like doing it, so I would do it. Well, and thank God. I don't know what the mechanism is, but I can describe to you the feeling. What happens is at a certain point, the desire to do this just falls away. It's just gone. And you go to do that, and you look at it, and it's like repulsive. You don't even want to read the screen. You could care less. It doesn't matter. Only it's come from a very real place. This isn't something your mind has delivered up. This isn't something you're going to need to monitor yourself to be sure that you behave in the way that you approve of, and all of that garbage. This is something that's real. It's it's a tiny measure, okay, but it's a measure of attainment. Something's been transcended there. And so in this way, you are the environment, and you see that by taking care of what's on the inside, the outside just takes care of itself. And that's what I wanted to share. Of course, the mind can terribly misuse this whole thing. People that listen to it in mind, you haven't got a clue of what's just been said. But that's okay, because you're energy beings, you're thoroughly psychic, telepathic, plugged in to the one and all of that. And so on deeper levels, we all get this. And this is nothing but a reminder. And the energy that flows through it here is such that it will help you to wake up. I don't understand it, but I don't need to, right? Understanding can come or not come. It doesn't matter. And that's a really beautiful place to be. And for all of you who desire it, I wish that for you, and I send that to you to the extent that I can. But it's an individual walk. And it's not an armchair sport. This that we're doing, this ascending, it's not something we can sit back and think, well, 2012 is going to come and all the benevolent ETs are going to show up in their spaceships and everything's going to be fine. Yeah, right. Yeah, I've got some beachfront property for you in Arizona, in the middle of India, whatever. Now is what it's about. Anything that wants to put us into waiting, into the future, for something, for anything, that includes for attainment, for waking up. There's no reason you can't have it right now. You are it. You are it. Can you accept it? Can you embrace it? Can you just accept? Time is not. It's getting more and more so. And you can reach in and just make a choice to accept that you already have all of this, that you already know all of this. So what if it's not on conscious levels? Remember, understanding will come when it comes. It's not required to have the experience. You can experience awakening, being awake. It doesn't have to come with bells, whistles, firecrackers, fireworks, and all that stuff. It really doesn't. If you have that, that's just something that comes and goes anyway. That's not the real deal. It's beautiful, and we all love it. But some people really go into a tailspin after they have one of those big experiences, and they get lost for a while because they want it back. And they think they've done something wrong or they've lost it. And that's so false. That's mind entering in and editing the awareness. And so, this is some more on the no mind. Step out of mind, step away from reliance on it. You're not going to make it go away or shut up, probably, except for moments here and there when that happens. Probably not because of a darn thing you've done. It just happens. But anyway, I guess I've gone on long enough. I sure love you guys. Blessings and light.